All right. I'm gonna mute y'all till I run through it. I'll check the chat if anybody got any questions. Oh, yeah, I can still do that. Mute y'all though. I wonder if I could just nope. All right, so if anybody ever wants to come to the morning come up Monday and Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time, if you have access to the classroom, I'll post the link periodically so that people can, make sure that they're registered for the morning calls. For those who don't know, class one is $75. There's no personal information required, no minimums to start, same day results guaranteed, and it is beginner friendly. Every Monday and Friday, we do the morning come up to go over new information, old information, if any questions, and then I share new information. I just posted a video today on YouTube, basically how to use your credit card with your private bank, right? How to leverage your credit and build your private bank faster. So there is no particular asset that you can use. Bitcoin, you can use Algorand, you can use Chainlink, Avalanche, Solana, BNB, Ethereum. You can also use the same strategy with a house or a property. You can use the same strategy with the life insurance policy. Okay, so I want people to understand we're just using cryptocurrency inside the class to do the exact same strategies that people use with property and with life insurance. It's faster, safer, and cheaper the way that we do it compared to the way that it's still being done. And if anybody doesn't know, all the other classes are $500 each. You are eligible for a discount if you've already supported Block Cycle. You've got an NFT, you've got a class, you've been here for a while. You can get a discount if you're interested in adding some of the other class material to your classroom. I'm going to start off market check. So Bitcoin is headed back to its all-time high. And I wanted people to remember that the Bitcoin halving right here says 49 days away. The simplest way to understand what the Bitcoin halving is, it will create an increase in supply and demand for Bitcoin. This will also make the price shoot up. And this is something that is specific to Bitcoin. So once the halving occurs, the price of Bitcoin will shoot up because the smart contract, the program, the system is designed to divide, right? And when it divides, it affects the supply and demand factor, increasing the price. And anybody that's invested, they're going to see gains just because that's the way it's programmed to work. So we're 49 days, 48 days out. So I want to highlight this too, because I peeped this. So it says the halving is in 48 days, but this can change based on the transactions because the halving is set to happen at, I believe, 210,000 blocks. So once a certain amount of transactions are completed, then the halving will occur. This is another reason why I've been so focused on understanding how to get paid off each transaction because this is all about transactions. Every buy, every sale, every confirmation, every send and receive that you got to do with blockchain is basically a transaction, keeping track of what's happening in real time. and we watching Bitcoin creep on up. It need to hurry up because I need to take some money out of here. All right, before I do that, real quick. The market cap for all the crypto in the world right now, according to CoinMarketCap, is $2.46 trillion. Bitcoin itself is worth over $1 trillion, so that's half the market cap of all the crypto. Go to all of these real quick. I also tell people, I encourage you to research and study a lot of the top 100 cryptos. It'll give you an idea of the oldest, the newest, and just the different utilities for the different blockchains, the different networks. And you can see right here, everything is green right now. It's Monday, it's a moon day, it's full of energy. We already in a full moon cycle. It's a lot of factors. The more you learn, the more you can attribute to like why are certain things happening. But basically, the crypto market's up right now. So if you're invested in the crypto market right now, you should be in profits. Simple as that. Okay, so that I really don't need to do that. I do want to go over this actually. For those who caught the masterclass on Wednesday last week, or you got the replay, because we're shifting gears now, right? For most people, you should have already went through the classroom. You should be familiar with folks' finance. Tongue tied. You should be familiar with the basics of private banking. If not, it's what class 1 is designed to help to provide you with the basics. But Wednesday, we started a new private bank. So this one, the strategy here is design $500 into $20,000. Basically, what I did was I bought 500,000 units, 500,000 XPR tokens, and then I'm going to private bank them. Now, even if I do not private bank them, I still just need to hold 500,000 tokens, and I'm waiting for XPR to hit 4 cents, which I believe is close to its all-time high. And we're anticipating all these assets to and then go past that. So I'm just looking for the all-time high right now. Once those 500,000 tokens hit 4 cents each, the $500 will turn into $20,000, and it's already almost at 1,000. XPR. If you don't have the replay for this, the replay is available so that you can get familiar with what we're doing with XPR. Where is it? Let me see. Put network on it. Maybe that'll pop up. Okay. All right, so when XPR hits the 4 cents, according to that math, the $500 private bank will turn into $20,000. I really think it's going to be more than that, but we'll see what happens. All right, so I was looking at the chart. XPR all-time high was, like I said, about 3-4 cents. Oh, that's even better for me though. So I'm looking at 4 cents. The all-time high is actually 10 cents. So when it hits 10 cents, I'll do the math on that later. But 4 cents is what my target is. So that way everybody knows basically, because I'm just sharing my strategy, what I'm using it for. So basically, I'm loading up on the XPR, on the private banking strategy, and letting the account compound real time. I'll get more into the DAO because that's actually crazy. When I started doing this process, this token was at 161, so and now it's at 209. So I've been earning right there. Plus, it has the APYs right here, and I like the debt. Right, the debt that I took out on this DAO token is 2 points. Right, so who wouldn't want to pay 2 points on debt? And then private banking here. Also, another way that's going to help me hit the goal faster with hitting the 20K on this private banking is the fact that I'm also using the farms and the liquidity pools, which we also teach in class 1 to give you the basics so you understand what these are. And then you're able to use them on other blockchains, other networks. So I'm just going to show the farms right now. And I got a class coming on farms too for those who are interested in specifically focusing on how to just farm their assets and grow. I think I got 4 farms on here. Yep. All right. So we got the XPR, which I got 500,000 working towards the 20K over there. And then we got the USDC pair. Remember, USDC represents the dollars, 1-for-1s. This is a stable coin. This will basically hold the value of your assets. They're giving out 52% APR for providing liquidity and farming XPR USDC. So I'm compounding more XPR just from doing that. Also helping me, have more XPR when it hits that 4 cents. Another XPR metal. Metal is the blockchain that XPR is built on top of. So this is like a native pair. They're giving out 20% on that. This is the metal blockchain with that DAO token that I told you about, also generating more metal. And this is in real time. Do I got any questions over what I went over so far? Anybody, anything? All right, nobody got no questions. All right. All right. So I know some people been having issues with Mexi, and just different ways to actually buy their crypto or trade and swap their crypto out. So right now, two of the other exchanges that you can check out to see if you are eligible to create an account with them. One of them will be, if you ever used Mexi before, this is similar to Mexi. Basically, it's an exchange that allows you to send and receive, swap out, trade your crypto. If you're familiar with Coinbase or Crypto.com, similar, it's an exchange. The second one you should check out would be BitTrue. Okay, also another exchange that you can use. You remember, you want to have multiple crypto because never no telling what can happen with any of these exchanges, which is we never leave our assets on the exchange. We simply use them just to move the crypto around. Just like when you're using the traditional bank account, you really just use the bank to make transactions and move funds a little average, but you still get, play because of all of the policies and stuff they got. So that's 2 exchanges that you can use if you're having any trouble with Juno or Mexi or Cash App. What else to go over? Oh, Lofty. Let me check my Lofty. All right. So if you have not been into any of the real estate classes or any of the classes that I did recently, Lofty is basically a place where you can start investing in real estate with as little as $50. Right. If you ever wanted to be a real estate investor, you could use this to start with as little as $50. All right. I think this might be the best property on the whole platform right now. This Airbnb property. So I'm making offers. So at first it said there was one left, 100 left. Now it's telling you to make an offer. Why is it saying that? All right. So I think the last time I pulled this up, the tokens were going for now they're worth $64 per token. I own a few, and then Block Cycle as an organization owns a few. I guess you know what? I'll buy another one right now. Let's see what we got here. Custom. All right, I was send some more tokens over there. But basically, this is the properties that I think is a good one. But there's other properties you can do your research. All of the information that you would look into is available for you to check out. Okay, so like the property I showed you, that 88 Madison Avenue property. So far, I've earned $4.52. Current rent balance that I've been paid out is $1.96. View the transactions. And you collect rental income every day. All right. So off of my Madison properties, what's that? 16 cents a day. 16 cents a day. My Chicago properties, obviously, they not doing good. The strip mall, I'm getting 1 cent a day on the strip mall. And this is compound interest from my perspective, right? Because that $400 that I got could be sitting in a bank account doing nothing. That $400 could be also in the stock market at more risk, due to politics, laws, all type of different factors, the product, the service, everything. So with this, it's a lot less stressful to be involved in real estate, because at some point it just becomes down to equity. So right now we're basically buying and selling equity and earning income, compound interest on top of that from holding property tokens. And I've been doing this since about November. I bought the first property for $34 back in November. But I just held it, and I was making that less than a penny every day. And then things been picking up, so I decided to get some more properties, and there we go. So y'all help me see this grow. The next piece to this, if you're already familiar with liquidity pools, this piece is actually a lot better than what I was just showing you, right? But you can't get to the liquidity pool unless you are on the platform. So what this is basically a liquidity pool for real estate You can buy and I mean not buy and sell. You can provide liquidity for those who want to buy and sell their equity, their tokens. So also another $291 that could be sitting in a bank account, could be sitting in a different opportunity, but it's right here and it's already to earn, let's just say 1%. All right, and then these are the property pools that I've added to. So I've added $50 to this. So this $50, it's going to the pool for this property. So anyone that buys or sells, they're basically using my $50 to give it a market. So there's always a buyer and always a seller because people are providing liquidity. On that 88 Madison Avenue, since I know there's going to be a hot property, I actually provided liquidity with my USDC and my token that I bought. So now if a person needs to buy a property, they can use mine and they can put the USDC back in. If they need USDC and they have a property, they can put that in and swap that out because I'm basically letting them use mine, borrow mine to make the transaction go through. That's called market making. If anyone is not clear on what that is, basically, let's like the stock market. You might have a big fish that has, let's just say, 10 million stock, and he doesn't need them, right? He's going to be holding them for a long time. So what he does is he gives his 10 million stock to Wall Street, and then Wall Street chops it up and sells it to other people that buy or sell in the market. And then the big fish just sits back and collects the interest from the Wall Street broker. So I hope that explained to y'all what market making is. But in crypto, we have what is called auto market making because the smart contracts, the blockchain, does that whole process for us. So we just need to choose to participate or not. And when you participate, you get the rewards. When you don't participate, you don't get the rewards. Simply put, in dealing with blockchain, crypto, Web3, the only way you can win is you have to be involved and participate. Whether you participate 1% or 100% is up to you, and it'll determine how much you earn and how much you learn, just like life. All right. Any questions over what I want to know right there? Anybody? Anything? Okay. Moving from the lofty. All right, so I got two more things I want to share with you guys. So, Block Cycle has started minting the NFTs. These NFTs cost 111 algo. My honest advice to everybody that actually is familiar with the NFTs or interested in NFTs, you have two options. You can buy your NFT and you can hold it and collect deposits daily. Or you can buy your NFT and you can relist it for sale. So if you buy it for 111, if you want, you can relist it for 150, 200, 300, 1,000, whatever you want because it's your property now. Or you can just hold it and collect the daily deposits. So that's one incentive for anyone that's holding it to want to hold it because it'll be earning deposits every day. There will only be 111 of these NFTs specifically. There'll be more to come in the future. So right now, this is going to be our first collection ever. The funds from these NFTs will go towards building the website for Block Cycle. And if you want to buy one, you just go to algogems.io, connect your wallet. I will post, let me post this right here. I'll post it around a few more times. Put it in class 1 first. And I'll go back and get it. And then make sure you guys got it. So yeah, I'll go. All right. So so far, I think we only did 15 of them. So this is going to be our first collection. It's going to help kickstart some of the development that we need to do. All right, so that's the algo gems. That's the NFTs. Also, anyone that is interested in earning some rewards another way, we also are preparing to run a node with Gora. So we have to get 10,000 Gora. So if anyone wants to support, join the node, I've got to pull it up. You can go to gora.blockcycle.algo and you can send it to that address. You can send your Gora to that address if you want to be a part of the node. Or if you need to know more information, you can check out my YouTube. I did a YouTube video on the whole node thing. But basically, a node is a system that processes the transactions for crypto, for blockchain, for the messages, the transaction, all of the information. Nodes process that information. Nodes also generate a fee for processing that information. Okay, there we go. All right, so here it is. Gora.blockcycle.algo. Basically, if you want to earn rewards when we launch this node, all you have to do to commit to that is send Gora to this domain name. Right now, how much do we have? Right, we only got 293. So it doesn't matter if you send one or you send 100 or you send them whenever you want to send them. Just the goal is to hit 10,000, and then once we hit 10,000, we're going to go over to Gora, and we're going to launch our node so that we can start earning more transactions as a collective, as an organization. Come on and load up. Computer's internet moving slow. And he changed up the logo on Folks Finance, if you didn't notice that. Also, before I get into that, if you do not have a block cycle segment, block cycle segments are $25. Those also will come with rewards, and it gives you a stake inside of the overall block cycle.algo. So like you're locking into receiving profits for the foreseeable future. These are all of the different segments that our members have created. Each one of these will basically have rights. Like we share this. This is all of ours. This is all a thing. And I took it upon myself basically to take some of the funds that I've been using when I create the NFTs for Block Cycle. I actually started Folks Finance account for Block Cycle. So this will be another stream of income that will be coming back to all of the holders. Like I said, we got the 2 properties. So this is basically the same way that you would do anything. I put the money inside of the loan. I borrowed it, and then I went and bought 2 properties on Lofty for Block Cycle. And then right now we have $481 in collateral for Block Cycle. Borrow balance $291. Liquidation margin over 10. We can borrow. I'm not too pressed to touch this one. It's a stable coin loan, so these are actually both stable coins. I just wanted to preserve the value of the transaction because now we have this money compounding here, and then we also have the properties on Lofty paying out rental income every day and appreciating every day. Also, we can take that rental income that we get every day and we can come and add it to the loans over here. And also, I am stacking on the deposits. The money inside of the deposit for Block Cycle will go towards the reward wallet and the treasury wallet, just to make sure that everybody's able to get some of the funds when they distribute it. So if I say, hey, we're going to be giving away $10,000 to Block Cycle members, everyone that's a Block Cycle member will get a cut, will get a proportional cut to however long they've been holding or however much they hold or which NFT they have whenever we do specific distributions or giveaways and things like that. But let's be clear, being a part of Block Cycle, you will be making money every day. All you have to do is participate. So that's the morning come up. I'm open for questions or any suggestions, comments, concerns, anything, anybody, before I click the red button. Okay, maybe y'all busy today, but if nobody got no
I
questions,
got a question. I got a question.
all right, shoot, Darrell, what's going on?
Um, I I have some USD tether on deposit on the folks finance, right? I just want to get an idea. Like I'm noticing how the percentages, I guess like the kickbacks is going up and down, right? Like right now, what's it at 25.8. So like I noticed at one point it was like up in the 60s or something like that. Like it was like one of the highest ones. So as I continue to take money out of that and put it back in, like is that interfering with anything, or just as long as I have some money in it, I'm good?
I'm not quite sure what you're trying to figure out from what you just said, but let me say this. USDT is garbage, but it's good for certain things. That's one. Two, the reason that the APYs fluctuate is because the interest earned is based off of the lending markets. So the more lending and borrowing happening, the less lending and borrowing happening affects the APYs that are earned. The rewards API is an incentive for you to deposit on folks' finance. So I don't really like I like the 31%, but I like my USDC, right? My stomach says something about Tether ultimately. Anyhow, so they both come with the same type of, you earn interest on your USDC and then you also earn a bonus algorithm earning assets. As long as you have your deposits on deposit, you'll earn a compound like every few seconds. The money's growing in here. If you ever need to, you can move your deposit money to your loan and, actually be able to preserve the equity and then borrow some of it. As far as higher APYs, this is what we use the lending pools for. The lending pools give you higher APYs on that algo USDC, like on Tiny Man. So this is one of the main ones that I've been focusing on. 70% APY on your money.
Okay, so see now that's one thing that I haven't gotten into yet, the actual lending pools on folks finance. So I guess I'm gonna start trying to look into that. Um, and then one other question I have: when I'm borrowing on my loans, am I only supposed to be doing stable, or does it matter if it's stable or variable?
I personally prefer variable because it just don't matter. You are controlling the account. The interest that is generated on the collateral or the borrow is going to accrue no matter what at whatever rate is there. That doesn't affect our strategy. Our strategy actually can, ignore that or negate that for a while. So it's not a big deal. Variable because it'll fluctuate with the market, so you have a better chance of getting a lower APY if it's variable as opposed to it being stable and it's going to be stuck at a higher APY. That's just how I perceived it, and I very well could be wrong. So, always feel free to go check out the docs and read stuff for yourself, and you can see how the platform actually works. They got it spelled out for you if you want to just read. But
All right, I'm
any
gonna
other
do that. I'm gonna check it
any
out.
other questions? All right, let me know what
No,
you
that's
think.
it. I appreciate it.
All right, well, I appreciate y'all. I'll talk to y'all Friday. Let's get it. Oh wait, one more thing before I forget. I want to highlight this because I know a few people switched up their loans. Some of you are still working on your uptrend, downtrend loans. Some of you more advanced. Some of you using other platforms with me. But I want to highlight this on folks' finance real quick. Okay, so we know that Bitcoin is uptrending right now, so we can anticipate that the value of the Bitcoin is going to keep going up. One thing I'm thinking or considering doing is just taking the Bitcoin off the borrow side for a while and just let it run. Then that'll save me the hassle of worrying about that. But I know Bitcoin is going to take a dip too, because a lot of people are going to take profit once it hits the all-time high. Some people are going to take profit because they got in at 20,000, 30,000. So we know there's going to be a dip coming. And when that dip happens, I basically can wipe out this $300, which is basically 10% of my Bitcoin holdings. So I got 3,700 and I got about 370 borrowed out against that, about 10%. But I'm over here working. So if anybody got any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, need anything, just hit me up or reach
I
out to
do
somebody
have
else in the class.
a quick question. With
Okay, go
your
ahead.
borrows, and so I know that you have, your different type of loans. With your borrows, how do you determine which asset you want to borrow from?
How do I determine?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just want to borrow all of them. Like this loan, and this time, the way the market is, what's happening, where I'm at. I know that I can get paid off of all of these when they go up, and I can get paid off of all of these when they go down. So to me, it doesn't matter which asset it is. Like right here, I can borrow $8 in Ethereum. And remember, after you borrow, the very first time you ever borrow, you do not have to reinvest it. You can add it to your deposit account, and this money will just be growing. This is more like your checking account. Like I tell people all the time, this is the safe bet. This is where I can say, you know what? This is what I'm willing to liquidate, cash out, go spend it right now. This is what I'll spend. But imagine when all of this appreciates, what I have available to spend also appreciates as well. But instead, I'm going to take that $8 of Ethereum and I'm going to reinvest it into the collateral. But before I even get to that $8, I'm going to take this $6 in AVAX. So that's $14. Okay, and the market is moving, so I'm gonna do one more and then I'm gonna go at it. And that's $9. So that's roughly $25 right there for this example. So I've just borrowed Ethereum, Avalanche, and Algorand. Now I can add that to my deposit. I could send it back to Juno, cash it out, trade it to Polygon, or trade it into some other crypto, or I can add it back to the collateral. 30. And whenever you add to the collateral, you raise your liquidation margin, which means you can still borrow. So you just can make a choice of what do you want to borrow next. And like right now, I'm borrowing USDC. So I'm going to highlight the USDC borrow. The reason you borrow USDC is to help your uptrend loan. So when the price of the collateral goes up, your borrow is more stable to create a bigger gap. So the bigger the gap between your borrow and your collateral, the more money you have growing. What else do we have? and then the AVAX. So we're gonna add the AVAX. That's I have more than I thought. Yeah. And so I added the AVAX. Then I'm gonna borrow USDC again. I'm going to add that $8 in Ethereum. And each time the liquidation margin goes up, and then I'm going to borrow USDC. I can borrow something else if I want, but because I'm already in motion, I know what I'm doing. This is what I'm choosing to borrow. Because I can take this USDC and send it to Lofty, another way to diversify and keep growing it, right? Like I can take this and send it to
When they
Lofty.
start going down, that's when you repay it.
Okay, so let's talk repay real quick. When the market drops, let's say right now the market drops. I have $569 in Algorand. Let's say the market drops and I now have $500 in Algorand. I will see that there's a $69 difference now. That means my debt lost $69. So at that point, I have two options. I can repay it now that it's basically lower, cheaper. I could repay it, or I could borrow that $69 again and shoot it back up to $569. Take the $69, new 69, and add it to collateral. That'll boost up everything all over again just because the market dropped.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
All right. I appreciate y'all questions. I do my best to encourage y'all to ask me as many questions as possible so there could be enough information available for all the people that's coming behind us. Because the stuff that we're learning now is not the same stuff that was here 5 years ago, 10 years ago when it comes to blockchain, crypto, the internet, all of that stuff. And it's not going to be the same 5 years from now. So this is foundational for all of us that are learning this because we're the first generation of people that have access to this type of technology and that can make money for us, right? Like I'm literally printing $200 a day now. Your bank account ain't gonna do this. Your stocks ain't gonna do this. Your real estate, physical real estate ain't gonna do this. So you gotta, for those people who say, "Oh, I'm not tech savvy," you need to take a class, get a session, get a tutor, because this is what's gonna help increase that wealth gap that people like to talk about so much. Right. And it's still going to come down to knowledge and learning and skills. Because you can go work your 9 to 5 and be comfortable with that, but your level, what's the word I want to look for? Your level of living, that's the wrong way to say it though. But the way you live will be lower than you would like it to be because of the way you're earning your money. If you're still earning fiat cash paper dollars, you definitely at the bottom of the totem pole because 3% of all the money in the world is cash. 3%. So who really got the cash? The poor people, right? And this is excluding the debit cards and the bank accounts because we're talking about the paper. Most people who like to keep paper are usually seen as criminals or they're poor. And these are just stats though, right? Because I don't like cash because it's germ. It got germs on it. And I don't need to touch it to make my transactions. All right, but that's enough of me rambling. Anybody got any questions, just hit me up. I appreciate y'all support, all right?